understand, see, you're in a war. And when somebody does that in a war, that's supposed to be a serious offense, even though war itself is a serious offense, according to counter-racist logic. This thing about making fun, having war games, as they call it, and teaching people in video games and whatnot all about fighting and glorifying on television 24 hours a day how much fun there is in killing people, that's a part of the white supremacist philosophy, because it has to be. Because they have to back up their deception, which is what they use mostly, fooling people in economics, in education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. Then they use violence. But usually on a day-to-day basis, the white supremacist strength is in fooling people, in using deception. What does deception do? When you deceive someone, you confuse the person. And as any boxer will tell you, any football player will tell you, any basketball player will tell you, any card player will tell you, confusion is the essence of the game. The roulette wheel is about confusion in a casino. You're confused about whether you're going to win or lose. But the house, as they call it, they know that they're going to win most of the time. They're not confused. Why? Because they're scientific. They've done the math. They've done the averages. A general does the same thing. A card shark does the same thing. A pool shark does the same thing. You deceive your opponent. So the white supremacists do this. Now getting back to this lady, if she pretended to be non-white when she was white and functioning as white and acting as an imposter, if she deliberately did that, that is a major crime. Crime against whom? Crime against justice, for one thing, and definitely against the victims, people who are already victimized. Don't pretend that you're non-white and you're classified as white and functioning as white and been approved of as white. No, that's the incorrect thing to do if you believe in justice. Because the white supremacists do this type of thing. Deception. Always keep these non-white people deceived. Keep them confused. Sit down with the Indian chief and drink with the Indian chief. Give him fire water. Tell him that clear water, pure water, that comes from the brook and the stream and whatnot, that's okay, but that's second best to fire water. So he hauls out a bottle and he says, take a drink here. We're going to have Thanksgiving here, Chief. So take a swig out of this bottle. So the chief, he takes a swig and he says, that tastes strange. Say, well, take another one. You'll learn to like it. And in the meantime, the chief is suspicious maybe, but here's this captain of the, of a ship that came from far away, and he has pale skin, what they call white, and so he takes a swig too, but he just takes a little swig. See, that's deception. Next thing you know, the chief is drunk, and the person who gave him that fire water is not drunk, even though he's drinking too. People who drink alcohol say it's knowing how to drink. So you drink your opponent under the table, you might say. You're not under the table, but your opponent is, because your opponent is drunk, because they didn't know how to drink that fire water. So when the chief wakes up from his slumber, drunken slumber, from drinking fire water, after having been deceived that this would be good for him, that he would imagine all sorts of things, imagine he's stronger than he is, and he lost his land as a result of that, over and over again. And you have a lot of people who can bear witness, who are still breathing, who are on what they call reservations right now as a result of that original deception. And it ain't never stopped, because the chief weapon of a racist is deception. Getting back to that lady again. stop doing that, ma'am. If you believe in justice, you don't have to do